Contender regime, boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. We live and in effect. We are live and in effect, man. What's happening? And we load up. Let's get it. About to be another lit show. You know what I'm talking about? See what we got going on, man. Yeah, no. It's a few things we got to talk about, man. A few things we got to discuss. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm listening to that Tory Lane shit, that new Toronto 3, that whole hard. That whole hard. I'm listening to that Dope Boy Diaries. That boy snapping on that hoe. That boy going crazy. That boy say, shit, nigga say, sleeping on my nigga couch, sleeping on the floor. All I said, sleeping on my nigga sofa, sleeping on the floor. I couldn't even tell the bitch come over. Damn. That nigga was going crazy. Oh shit, what's happening, man? Y'all tap that like button for your boy when you slide on through. What's happening, man? Stephen Phillips in the building. Eclectic Agitator in the building. Salute to you, man. What's happening? What's going on? Hopefully I don't be spilling shit around this one. Man, how y'all doing on this lovely Friday, man? You know what I'm saying? What y'all doing out there to keep y'all selves corona free? Vigilante Cato in the building. Salute to you, man. What's happening? He say, what's up, bro? And say what it do. Was just watching I was just watching Errol Spence highlights already. I was on YouTube yesterday watching man, I was watching all type of fights. I went back and watched Felix Trinidad versus Vargas. I went back and watched Adrian Broner versus Emmanuel Taylor again. I watched Errol Spence versus what's that boy name? Leonard Bundu. You know what I mean? That was right when the Olympics had came through. You know what I mean? Mike Rhyme in the building, salute. The Octavia 72, salute to you, man. What's happening? Galvatron in the building, salute, man. Appreciate y'all boys for coming on through. Say not taking that test, not trusting the usual suspects. Oh, you already know. We team no vaccines, no corona tests around this hoe. If you feel like you sick, stay at the house, man. Stay at the crib, lock yourself in a closet or something. You know what I'm saying? Unless you feel like you fucked up, like you can't breathe, but you know what I'm saying? You about to die or something. Other than that, stay your ass at the house, man. Don't go take no test. And we ain't looking for no vaccine, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because most people that go to the hospital, shit, they be the ones end up never leaving that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They be the ones that be dying and shit. I'd rather stay at the house and try to ride it out. Like I told you, I had this shit already, bro. I'm sticking to it. I had it already. My boy Pancho Espar's in the building. Salute to you, man. What's happening? What's going down? Derek Lincoln in the building, man. Salute. What's going on, man? Hey, a lot of y'all still working? A lot of y'all still like having to leave the house to work and shit? My boy G5 Gabe in the building. Salute to you, brother. Thank you for coming through in the super chat. Going strong. He say, man, salute. Contender in the chat, fam. Man down already, man. Man down. Strap season. Puncho said, yeah, he's still working. He's still working, man. Glad y'all still healthy and being safe. You know what I mean? Euro Thomas in the building. Say, what up, G? He said, take that cure all Robitussin. Yeah. Yeah, you know. That Robitussin, that's like a old school home remedy. They say that shit supposed to cure everything. Say we need to develop a code of thought, speech, and action, produce political system for ourselves under the global government system of white supremacy. Hey man, you know what though? A smart thing is, like, for you, all your homies, anybody that's like in your circle, your family and stuff, it's good for y'all to have, for us to have like a location that we can go to. Like, let's say all communication lines was completely shut down. We couldn't call nobody. We couldn't get in touch with nobody. If some shit go down like that, we need to have like a location you go to that everybody know the meetup spot. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know, like, you gotta have everybody in the loop. You feel me? Everybody in your circle and shit. So when something go down, y'all know how to move. You feel me? Everybody ain't just stuck out there. Captain in the building, salute to you, boy. My boy King White in the building, salute to you, my brother. What's happening? Swift 46 in the building, salute. What's going down? Yes, sir, man. Salute, staying strong and healthy, bro. That's the key. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? My boy King White out there in New York. You feel me? So, you know, he doing everything he can to hold it down. You know what I mean? He in the hottest of hot spots. You know? But yeah, Derek Lincoln for real though, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that's in your circle, y'all need to have like a meetup spot already mapped out. You feel me? You know, so that way if some shit go down, y'all already know, okay, boom. We gonna meet up over here. Everybody come through, put their heads together, you know, because if some crazy shit go down, you know, you want to have a team around you. You know what I mean? You want to have a team of motherfuckers. Everybody contribute. Everybody that's able, you know what I mean, to add something to the table. Shit, the boys will be all right. Roderick Bryce in the building. Salute to you. What's happening? Vigilante say, if Earl in the condition he was when he fought Van Heerden, Algerian Brook, it's over. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what I think. That's what I think we're gonna see, bro. I think we definitely gonna see that because all this time he got, all this time everybody got, you know what I mean? But especially Earl, you know, this is perfect for him to really just, you know, keep running. If y'all looking at that interview that he did with the guy from PBC, you can see that his face is noticeably slimmer than what it was when we seen him at the Jamel Charlo fight. Also, I think we seen him again after the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. You know, when everybody was trying to interview him while he was leaving and stuff, you can see that his face is noticeably slimmer. So that lets you know that he really been out there working. He been running. And think about it. Now he aiming to get back to the ring September, October. So if he already slimming down now, you feel me? Like, he got all this extra time to really get into shape. And like bro said, he don't plan on leaving 147 until he get undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he said. He don't plan on leaving 147 till he get undisputed. Bro said, if I gotta cut off a leg, you feel me? I goddamn cut off a leg or arm. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy, Mr. Drick Joe in the building. Salute to you, man. He say, what's your point? Facts, salute to your brother from Baltimore. What's 100? What's up, man? 100. Who we got in here? My boy ATX in the building. Salute. Oh yeah, man. I had to go on ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Little bit, you know what I'm saying? Little bitch told me, she said, I like when your dimples show, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, baby, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and let the dimple show one time, cut the beard off, you know what I'm talking about? It's getting a little heated up outside, you feel me? So we're gonna go ahead, you know what I mean? We're gonna rock it out, switch it up one time, you feel me? My boy Patrick Mitchell in the building. Salute to you, brother. What's happening? What's going on? But yeah, you know, I feel like Earl dedicated, you know what I'm saying, to staying in shape. Like he said, bro, he quoted Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You know what I mean? It's hard. I got too comfortable. It's hard to get up 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning, you know what I'm saying, when you sleeping on silk sheets. But he know after that accident, you know what I mean, I got a new lease on life. I got a whole lot of shit that I'm looking for. I got a lot to prove. I got a lot to prove. So you know that motivation is already there. I feel like Earl just got a restart right now. He got like a resurge of energy that's gonna get him back in the gym and get him, like, he need to get back with Blu-ray. He need to get back with Blu-ray, man. Derek Lincoln in the building. Salute. He say stuff crazy now, bro. In New Jersey, now we have to wear a mask now. In order to go to the store, they kick you out if you ain't got no mask. Damn, for real? That's crazy, bro. I mean, that may be a good thing, but at the same time, I don't feel like those masks really like stopping shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, shit. I know on that side, on the East Coast, New York, you know what I'm saying? New Jersey, it's crazy over there because y'all a highly populated area. LK Raw in the building. Salute to you, man. What's happening? That boy Puncho as far as and now, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Hey, I told baby, I said, hey, baby, if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he definitely got a chip on his shoulder, bro. You feel me? And I feel like that shit really gon' put, like he said, you gonna see the Errol Spence that you saw before he fought Kell Brook. Y'all remember Earl, like he went as far as to say that Errol Spence that was 5-0, 6-0, hungry. That's a different type of Errol Spence. You know what I mean? That's a different type of animal. That's why I feel like it's gonna be way, way more dangerous for anybody trying to fuck with Earl on his way back. You know what I mean? And then you give him all this time to get in tip-top shape, you know? And I think now we're gonna start seeing in between fights because he know that if my goal is to be undisputed at 147, I'm only getting older. He just turned 30, still in his prime, but you only gonna get older. And it's only gonna get harder and harder to make weight. So that means you gotta be that much more disciplined and that much more sharp when you out the ring. And that way you can, you know what I'm saying, when it come time to make weight, you only got to lose about 10, 12, 15 pounds at the most to make 147. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Peterson Spence. Earl that fought Peterson, I'm going to tell y'all, bro, the best Errol Spence I seen, and I ain't even talking about as far as skill-wise, because I feel like skill-wise, he just been getting better and better and better. But, like, physically and shape-wise, the best Errol Spence I seen was the one against Chris Algieri. Bruh had a 10-pack. Bruh had a 10-pack like he was more athletic than I ever seen him in that fight. Y'all remember how he ran Chris Algieri down? Remember, bruh, go back. Let's put ourselves back in that time frame. Remember, bro, remember when they first started talking about the Chris Algieri fight, it was a lot of people. I was watching boxing shows and shit where people was calling in, giving their opinion on the fight. Bro, people was saying that Chris Algieri was gonna outbox Errol Spence. Remember, we had never seen, we had only seen Earl versus fighters that they'll say, okay, they just stand in front of you or they just come forward fighters, Mexicans, shit like that. So when they pitted him up against Chris Algieri, motherfuckers was like, oh, Chris Algieri gonna outbox him. Earl don't got lateral movement. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be able to cut the ring off. He can't fight with a guy that, you know what I mean, that can move around and use a jab and stuff like that. But when he came into that fight, bro, you can see the athleticism, dog. Like that in the Chris Algieri fight, that's the most in shape, athletic Errol Spence I ever seen. You know what I mean? And he ran Chris Algieri ass down, bro. He hunted him down, dog. Body attack was crazy. He was lean. He was lean with body shots, like right hooks to the body. I ain't talking about where both fighters already on the inside and he throw a body shot. I'm talking about from a distance, he was lean, jumping in with right hooks to the body. Like, what the fuck? That shit was crazy. Shout out to my boy Jay Cool in the building in the super chat coming strong. Salute to you, my brother. Straight from Omaha, Nebraska. Said, Bud, easy work. I promise you, bro. Hey, I'm with you. 100%. 100%. That right there gonna really show everybody that Earl is different from a lot of these guys. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys. That fight right there, because That's the only thing. Every time Errol Spence go out there, he beat a certain fighter or put on a certain type of performance, and then they raise the bar higher. They'll say, well, okay, he can't do this, just like the Chris Algieri fight. Remember they said he never fought a boxer that can move. Okay, he went out there, hunted that motherfucker down. I'm talking about like a lion on a wounded gazelle on his ass. Hunted him down, boom. They say, okay, well, now he can't beat a boxer with power or a more skilled fighter. Went in there, he beat Kell Brook in his hometown. Like every time they raise the bar. Now, with the only thing, they can't say shit really about Errol Spence right now. They can't say shit because he done fought 5 different styles in the last 5 different fights. Okay, the only thing they can say right now is, can you beat Terrence Crawford? And you know, the only reason they saying that shit is because it can't be because they just really feel like Terrence Crawford will run through everybody at 147, because motherfuckers don't even want to see Terrence Crawford fight Sean Porter. They don't even want to see him fight Kell Brook. They don't want to see him fight. They don't want to see him fight the top guy. So they want to hold this thing, this Terrence Crawford name over Errol Spence as another bar that they raising up above, just so he can, once he go in there and blow Terrence Crawford out the water, beat his ass up, then they gonna come up with some other shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that is. That's all that is right there. Hold on, who we got coming through this hole, man? What's happening? Let me see. My boy Antonio Holmes in the building. Salute to you, brother. What's up, man? What's going down? A Stu in the building. Salute, man. Thank y'all, brothers, for coming on through. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, Derek Lincoln. They gonna ask for Canelo. Y'all remember they was doing that shit with Mikey Garcia. They was doing that shit with Mikey Garcia. Remember, all the Mexicans and shit was talking about, even Sugar Ray Leonard, who was like one of my favorite fighters. He's like top 3, top 5 for me, Sugar Ray Leonard. Talking about Mikey Garcia gonna win because it's Mikey. I think somebody paid him to say that shit. I don't know why the hell he would say that. But all the Mexicans and shit, all the Mexicans was talking about, you know what I'm saying? Not all of them, man, that's big cap. But a lot of Mexicans was talking about, you know, Mikey Garcia gonna beat Earl and all this shit, say he gonna outbox him. You know, Mikey Garcia was higher than Errol Spence on the pound for pound rating. You know what I mean? They were talking, you know, crazy shit. And then after Earl went in there and 12 zipped him, you know, like the boy didn't even belong in the ring with him, like treated him like an amateur, basically. How Floyd did Canelo, like Earl beat Mikey worse than Floyd did Canelo, bro. Like he 12 zipped him, like bro didn't win not 1 round. Really, I ain't gonna lie. Because really, I ain't see Canelo winning no rounds against Floyd, but you know how they tried to harm on the card. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. But, you know, Earl went in there and did that. What they do after the fight? They say, oh, he need to fight Canelo. Oh, he can't beat Canelo, though. They started calling for Canelo. You know how it go. They continue to raise the bar every time, G. Every time, bro. You know that's what they gonna do. My boy Corian Jordan in the building. Salute. He say, like you always say, bro, Crawford's downfall is going to be Hart and getting involved in dangerous exchanges with Errol Spence. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like, I know this not like a me thinking or, you know, assuming that Bob Arum and Team Crawford thinks this. I know for a fact, this is facts. I know that they understand that about Terrence Crawford. They understand that Terrence Crawford, his heart, even though his skill is out of this world, his heart is even bigger than his skill. His heart is even bigger than his talent. And that's saying a lot. That's actually a credit to Terrence Crawford. That's not like a slight nothing to him. That's actually a credit to Terrence Crawford because he's supremely skilled and gifted. I truly believe that. But his heart is even bigger than that. And when he get in there with Errol Spence, it's just not going to work out good for him, bro. You already disadvantaged with size. Then it's just like you don't have the physical strength to be able to just go in there and try to fight on the inside with Errol. And the fact that when you get hit, because you gonna get hit, Errol Spence is one of the most accurate punchers in the game, one of the best punchers when it comes to timing and accuracy and leverage on his shots. When he hits you, and he gonna hit you, Terrence Crawford gonna throw all that other shit out the window and it's gonna turn into a brawl, and that's gonna be the last you ever heard about Terrence Crawford. That's just what the fuck gonna happen. But his team know that shit, bro. They know that. The reason I'm bringing that point up, they know that. That's why they don't want to put him in there with Sean Porter. That's why I think he gonna fight Kell Brook next. But I felt like they was reluctant to put him in there with Kell Brook. But that's really why they don't want to put him in there with Sean Porter, because they know Sean Porter gonna be in Terrence Crawford's face all night. And if Sean Porter can get Terrence Crawford in a compromising position of where he just ain't got nowhere to go, his only way out. Remember, I told y'all, Terrence Crawford's offense is his defense. Terrence Crawford's offense is his defense. So when Sean Porter get Terrence Crawford in a situation where he ain't got nowhere to go, all Terrence Crawford gonna do is just throw hella punches. And that's where he gonna get in trouble. That's why I think Sean Porter can possibly stop Terrence Crawford. That's where he gonna get in trouble. That's why they don't want to put him in there with nobody before he get in there with Errol Spence, because they don't want to lose that opportunity at a payday. Salute to my boy Ricky Williams in the building, in the super chat, coming strong, man. Thank you so much. He says smash the like button, man. Support the man for the content. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And y'all listen to the brother, man. Hit that like button if you can. I greatly appreciate it. My boy Swift46 in the building in the super chat. He said the way Earl said he gonna watch Bud, I know he meant it. I think it's gonna get ugly. Exactly, bro. Exactly. And you can tell when a guy is really confident in themselves, bro. You can tell when you listen to Keith Thurman talk, when you listen to how he talk about other guys, and then when he talk about Errol Spence, you see it's a difference. When I heard Mikey Garcia talking about Earl, even though I knew that shit was some bullshit, I felt like Mikey Garcia, before he got in the ring with Earl, he really thought he could box with Earl. So he had real confidence there, even though that shit really didn't turn out how he wanted it to turn out. Once he got hit with a couple of shots, he shelled up. You feel me? But going into that fight, he felt that way. When I listened to Errol Spence talk, bro, you can tell, especially in this recent interview, bro, you can tell he meant every word he said. He also gave Terrence Crawford credit. He said, look, Terrence Crawford got the skills, We both got the skills, and I think that's a legacy-defining fight. That's a legendary type of fight. We both got the skills, but I'm going to wash him. That's pure confidence right there, G. That's pure confidence. We both got the skills, but I'm going to wash him. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And it wasn't like on no disrespectful shit. He really mean that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can't fault him for that. He really mean that shit. I like to hear a fighter talk like that, and I know they mean it. When I hear Terrence Crawford talk, I know he confident in his abilities. You know what I'm saying? He might say some wild shit every now and then, but I know Bud really feel like how he feel. I don't think it's Bud that's not trying to make these fights happen. I think it's his team. They understand the character of Terrence Crawford. They understand the heart and the dog in Terrence Crawford, and they know it wouldn't be smart to put him in there with Sean Porter right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's jeopardized too much. Shout out to my boy Rasheed Muhammad in the super chat. Thank you so much, bro. He said, been a supporter since day one. Thank you, man. Hey, greatly appreciate it, man. It's what I do this shit for. I love getting on here talking this boxing with y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for supporting and showing up, man. 100. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what y'all boys talking about in here. Let me see. Say, South Phoenix rising in the building. So Louis say, I truly think Crawford's punch resistant is suspect. Yeah, man. Yeah. And the thing is, bro, we've seen him hurt a couple of times in fights, and I'm not going to hold that against Terrence Crawford because this is boxing. These guys are in the business to put punishment on their opponent, and their opponents is there to put punishment on them. So it's going to be situations where you're going to get hit, and we seen Earl get hit with some big shots. I can't necessarily say that I just seen Earl hurt. I seen him get hit with some big shots that made him back up. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Let me get my shit right. But I ain't never seen him just like, you know what I'm saying? Like legs shaking and shit, like looking crazy. I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen him where his knee almost touched the floor. I ain't never seen that. But we seen that a couple of times with Terrence Crawford, and that let you know, if he get hit with the right shot at the right time, he can go. You know what I'm saying? He can go. And he ain't been in there with somebody like a Errol Spence, like a Sean Porter, like a Kell Brook, that if they do hit you with a shot like that, they're gonna take advantage. He haven't been in there with nobody like that. You know, but I do want to say this. I would like to give Terrence Crawford credit for his ability to adjust. Every time that I've seen Terrence Crawford get hurt, he has shown the ability to adjust and, you know, either turn up the heat or come from a different angle to be able to capitalize and get his opponent up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely give him credit for that. Shout out to my boy Fabo in the building in the super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, man. Just coming through showing love. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Let me see what y'all boys got going on. Let me see. My boy Jay Cooler said, look at Bud fights. No one cut the ring off on him. Facts. I said that in the Victor Postol fight. You know what I'm saying? The Victor Postol fight could have been a way better fight, but Victor Postol did not know how to cut the ring off at all. He said no one cut the ring off on him, and Bud, no one got on the inside, Mean Machine, and that was Bud's fault. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that fight with Mean Machine, I don't know if it was Terrence Crawford just trying to make it a fight by staying there. I know Terrence could have easily used his feet. He has that ability. He could have easily used his feet, moved around the ring, gave Mean Machine different looks, kind of set up traps and force Mean Machine to come to him so he can tee off on him every time Kavaliauskas throw a punch and miss, tee off on him and counter him, hit him with combinations and shit like that. Terrence Crawford could have did that and the fight would have been easy as fuck. At least because the fight turned out to be easy for Terrence Crawford, but at least in the first 6 or 7 rounds, it was a little tit for tat type of deal going on. But I definitely, like Jay Coolidge said, I think that that was more so Terrence Crawford's fault because I mean I think he realized that he was in there with a guy that shouldn't be in there with him, and he like, look, at least let's get a fan something. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but another thing, that's just the type of dude Terrence Crawford is. That's just the type of guy he is, bro. And that's what make him such a fun fighter to watch. But at the same time, when you get in there with Errol Spence or Sean Porter, it ain't gonna work out for you. It ain't gonna work out for you. I have been wrong on predictions before. We all have. You know what I'm saying? But my percentage is still impeccable. If they make a Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter fight, dog, I just don't see Terrence Crawford beating Sean Porter. I don't see it, bro. And I have a hard time. I think he can beat Kell Brook. I think he can, at least this version of Kell Brook, the guy that we haven't seen at 147 since he fought Errol Spence. I think he can beat Kell Brook, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think that fight is 55-45 for Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy, Dirty Hard Hitting South in the building. Salute to you. He said against smaller competitors. That's a big fact. That's a big fact. And that's something that you have to take into consideration. You know what I'm saying? These guys that he been fighting, you know, we look at Eureka's Gamboa, who when Eureka's Gamboa was really started to come up and get a name for itself, he did build up some momentum as, you know, a very respected fighter with power, with speed, boxing ability, Cuban style. But honestly, before Gamboa fought Terrence Crawford, he really didn't have a lot of big wins. I think Gamboa's biggest win was versus Ponce de Leon, wasn't it? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I know it's some of y'all in the chat that got way more boxing knowledge than me. Gamboa's previous big win before he fought Terrence Crawford had to be against Ponce de Leon. If it was somebody else, y'all let me know. That's what I remember. And if y'all remember, Ponce de Leon was this was like a decent guy at 130. He wasn't like no world beater or nothing, but he was like, you know what I'm saying? He was decent. He was decent. What my boy said, folks get Earl switches, forget Earl switches as well. Yeah, not for the amount of time that Bud does, but very subtle and effective. That's facts. That's facts. He does, bro. Earl does a lot of subtle things in the ring that a lot of people don't notice. And that's one of the things that kind of throw me off a little bit, because when you go look at a guy like Marvin Hagler, who was predominantly known for his ability to physically outman his opponent, walk you down, get you out of there with body shots, just over the course of a fight, break you down, which is a similar style to Errol Spence. I think Earl is like a mixture between Terry Norris and Marvin Hagler. I see a little bit of Felix Trinidad in there as well, but I like to compare with Marvin Hagler and Terry Norris. With Terry Norris, more of the combination and speed. With Marvin Hagler, more of the body snatching and the walk you down type of style. Now, a lot of people, they misconstrue his athleticism and his strength as just him being just a stationary or a one-dimensional fighter, when really he does a lot of subtle things in the ring, and he shows you that in different fights. In the Mikey Garcia fight, he showed you the boxing ability. He showed you, even towards the end of the Lamont Peterson fight, he started to show you a little bit different wrinkles with the footwork. At that point, he was just toying with Lamont Peterson, but he showed you a few different wrinkles in that fight. He showed you in the Chris Algieri fight the athleticism, where he was able to. Chris Algieri was literally on one side of the ring, like literally running away, trying to get away from Earl. Earl ran to that guy and got him up out of there, cornered him in the corner on the ropes and got him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? He showed you in the Kell Brook fight that he can fight off the back foot if need be. He can go tit for tat. He showed you in the Sean Porter fight that he can fight an ugly, nasty, inside type of game, inside type of fight, where it's going to be some low blows, it's going to be some elbows, some head butts. He showed you that he can withstand those type of situations. That it takes a lot for a fighter to be able to adapt to those conditions. If you take your average fighter, if you put him in those different scenarios, if it's 5 different scenarios that I just named off, that fighter may only be able to survive in 2 of them. He may only be able to survive in 2 of them, let alone look good and be successful. You know what I mean? That's tough, bro. You got to give Earl a lot of credit for that. You got to give him a lot of credit. Salute to my boy, Mr. Munt in the building. Salute to your brother. Thank you for coming through, showing love. He said, there's absolutely no proof that Bud could survive that type of grueling scrap like Spence and Porter had. Maybe he can, but there's no proof. Brother, you don't know how true that statement you just made is. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that we don't talk about as much. And, the hardcore Terrence Crawford fans, I know you want to root for your guy. You want to see your guy on top. Shit, I love Terrence Crawford too. But we can't just bypass those type of facts. You can't just overlook those type of facts, because that's a big deal. We saying that, not we, because I damn sure ain't saying that he gonna beat Errol Spence, but it's a lot of guys that say, well, look, Terrence Crawford is gonna whoop, he gonna stop Errol Spence. He gonna outbox him, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. But we don't have no type of proof of this. We don't have no type of evidence that he's capable of these things. We don't have no type of evidence. None. We ain't seen him in no type of fight like the Kell Brook fight or like the Sean Porter fight. We ain't seen it. We don't know. We literally don't know. Everybody just assuming, and we giving Terrence Crawford the benefit of doubt based off of raw ability. It's just like when Adrian, and I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford is Adrian Broner, but it's just like with AB. Shout out to my boy Brent Jones in the building. It's just like AB. When AB had came, when he just first went up, remember he had beat up on Vicente Escobedo at 130. He beat up on Vicente Escobedo, and then he went up and had his first fight at lightweight versus Antonio DeMarco, who was a champion. First fight at lightweight was a champion. You know what I'm saying? Went in there, put on a beautiful performance. If we had just stopped at that point and said, look, AB will whoop all these motherfuckers. AB will go up and beat Floyd. If we would have just stopped at that moment and say, AB go up to 147 and whoop on Cotto. Or he'll go to 154 and whoop on Cotto. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, that's basically what we doing with Terrence Crawford, because there is no evidence that he's capable of these things. We haven't seen it. He literally hasn't been tested. He haven't been in a matchup like the Spence versus Porter fight. He ain't been through nothing like that. He ain't been through nothing like Errol Spence versus Kell Brook. He ain't experienced nothing like that. So we literally have no evidence that Terrence Crawford is capable of these things. We basically going off of just raw ability. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford, I said Terrence Crawford. Derek Lincoln say that's what Crawford doing, bro. Just like AB before Maidana. Yeah. Big facts. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Remember when AB went up to fight when he fought Maidana, dog, it was like everybody was, some people knew. I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked because I was that much of a fan. I was just like the same way hardcore Terrence Crawford fans are right now. That's how I was with AB. That's how I was with AB. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, ain't no way he losing to Maidana. He gonna whoop Maidana ass. I knew it was gonna be tough, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, shit, he gonna whoop Maidana ass. That's how I was. You know what I'm saying? He say, me too, bro. Yeah. I was all in with Adrian Broner. That I see a lot of similarities with Terrence Crawford fans. They putting the stagecoach before the horses. You dig what I'm saying? We giving him all this credit, but we ain't seen nothing yet. Literally to this day, his most comparable opponent, his most name-known opponent was Eurycles Gamboa. Maybe Amir Khan had a bigger name, but let's say his best opponent skill-wise was Gamboa. A guy that Tank Davis just treated like a rag doll. Now, Gamboa older now, but still. Tank Davis is like 4 inches shorter than Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So, and 3 divisions smaller. You dig what I'm saying? So, come on, man. Come on now. We got to put this shit in perspective. You know, and that's where that's the issue that I run into often when it comes to debating Crawford versus Spence. It's like, yeah, I want to see the fight right now too. I want the fight right now. But I also want to see Terrence Crawford in there with somebody that's good on the 147-pound level, on an elite or either champion or former championship type of level before he get in there with Earl. That way we can justify this being the fight that we've been waiting for all these years. You know what I'm saying? At least with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, at least when they had their shit going on, it took too damn long to make that fight, I agree. But at least when they had their shit going on, Floyd was whooping up on motherfuckers. Manny Pacquiao was whooping up on motherfuckers. I'm talking about top-notch contenders, top-notch champions and shit. You know, Floyd fought guys that Manny didn't fight. Manny fought guys that Floyd didn't fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's different, man. So when Manny Pacquiao and Floyd came together, even though that shit took way too long, when they came together, we knew, okay, this is Floyd and this Pacquiao. Whoever win this shit, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? We seen, you know, that this guy is legit. He done beat everybody. This guy done beat everybody. With Terrence Crawford, it's like Errol Spence done went through the ringer. He done went through the gauntlet of top fighters. And then Terrence Crawford is like, we don't really know what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know. We really don't know. Let me see what's going on in here. Shout out to my boy Dwayne Moore in the building. Salute. He say, why it's all about belts? You saying Bud easy work, let's do it now. Bud is all hype compared to Spence. That's basically what you saying. He can't beat Porter. Why wait? Well, look, I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford is all hype. I'm saying that he could possibly be all hype, but we don't know. So why not put him in there with Sean Porter? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you want to see that fight? Sean Porter is a great fighter. Sean Porter is a top welterweight. Don't you want to see that? Like put it in this perspective. If just look at the resume, put it in this perspective. You got Terrence Crawford, the best fighter that he fought at 147 pounds is Amir Khan. Is Amir Khan better than Jeff Horn? I think Kavaliauskas could probably knock Amir Khan out. So I don't even know who the best fighter that Terrence Crawford fought at 147. I don't even know. Who was the best fighter that Crawford fought at 147? Y'all let me know. Shout out to my boy Big Tex 33 in the building. Salute to you, brother. What's happening? We got Smokey. My boy Derek Lincoln in the super chat. Salute to you, brother. He say, you heard when Earl said Thurman and Porter ain't real and don't respect him. Yeah, I heard that. You know, and I found that interesting. But you know what? It wasn't surprising to me because we saw that we know how Keith Thurman is. We know how Keith Thurman is. We know Keith Thurman changed his whole tune when Errol Spence came into the picture. So I expected Earl to say that about Keith Thurman. Sean Porter, that didn't surprise me at all because that don't mean that Sean Porter some type of bitch or a hoe or nothing like that in the ring. That don't mean that. But basically what he was saying with that shit was, you know, Sean Porter be faking the funk sometime, you know. He be trying to put on. Y'all be hearing Sean Porter sometime when he be calling fights, you know what I'm saying, up there with I'll forget them dudes' name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, he be on some, you know what I mean? He be on some shaky shit. Even when he be doing a little show with Abner Mares, he be on some shaky shit. The shit that he be saying don't be consistent a lot of times. You know, and then also when he got up there with Earl, backstage, he probably telling Earl like, shit, you know, man, good fight, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, you a great competitor and all this shit. But then when he got on the podium with Earl, he started talking cash shit. I think that's what Earl mean with Sean Porter. But he did say that guys like Terrence Crawford, he's true to himself. Manny Pacquiao, same thing. He even said Danny Garcia is a guy that he respect outside of the ring, you know, as somebody that, you know, they seem like a genuine, authentic person. You feel me? I got a lot of inconsistencies with Sean Porter this last time around. Keith Thurman is also a lot of inconsistencies with him because just 4-5 years ago, he was telling Paulie Malignaggi, you better not duck me, son. You know what I'm saying? He was talking all cash shit. Look, I got an O, ain't afraid to let it go. I'll whoop everybody ass. But then when Errol Spence come into the picture, it's like Keith Thurman making up all type of excuses. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I you know, my shoulder ain't healed up yet. I don't think he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he coming up with all type of excuses. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got my hair braided yet. I can't fight Errol Spence. Like, all type of shit. Let me see what's going on in here, man. My boy D Hodges in the building. Salute. Say Mean Machine. He was undefeated and an Olympian. We just never heard of him. People call him a bum. Okay, that's the best fighter that Terrence Crawford fought. South Phoenix say Khan is the best fighter he fought at 147. Okay. Benavidez, my boy Big Tex and Jay Cooley said Jose Benavidez. Okay. You know what? I think, yeah, I like what Big Tex said. He said Benavidez on paper, but the knee hurt his performance. I agree. Going into that fight, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had forgot all about Benavidez getting shot in his leg and shit. So I didn't know, you know, I heard about the shit, but I had totally disregarded it and forgot about that shit. So I'm like, okay, this is a good ass fight because I seen Benavidez fight before. I knew he had fast hands. I knew he could box. But all of this was before he had that whole situation go down. So in my mind, when the fight coming up, like before weigh in and all that shit, as the fight actually coming up, I'm thinking, oh, we about to get the real Benavidez and shit. But then like a couple of weeks before the fight, the weigh in happened. I'm seeing like some, I don't know, it was just a little, some little shaky shit they mentioned in the fact that he got shot in his leg and all that. And then this what really fucked me up. And then the night of the fight, this man walked in the ring with a whole knee brace on. I'm like, he ain't fully recovered from that shit. He still hurt. I thought he was good. You know, I didn't know he was still fucked up. You can literally see, and then early in the first 3 or 4 rounds, he was touching Terrence Crawford. He was touching him. But what Terrence Crawford did, which was smart, which is what I would have did, which is what any smart fighter in that situation would have did, he used Benavidez's weakness against him. He started creating that separation and that distance between them and making Benavidez come to him and picking him off. Instead of going to Benavidez, he started making Benavidez come to him and picking his ass off. That's how he was able to knock him down and stop him in the 12th round. He caught Benavidez. Number one, Benavidez was tired as fuck in the 12th round, but then he caught him while he was coming in with some wild shit and hit him with something mean and fucked him up. But early on in that fight, within the first 3 or 4 rounds, Benavidez was touching Terrence Crawford. But then later on, Terrence Crawford said, okay, look, this motherfucker got a bum knee. He can't move. And I'm looking at the fight. I'm like, bro, why this? I thought he was healed up. I thought he was good. Like, this motherfucker can't even plant on his leg. Like, literally, bro. Like, I'm going to tell y'all like this. I don't think Benavidez should be fighting. No more. He shouldn't be fighting, bro. He shouldn't be fighting, dog. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez shouldn't be fighting, bro. Because he not 100%. He can't move. You know what I'm saying? He can't even plant on his knee to throw punches the right way. I don't know how he got cleared to fight, bro. He not 100%, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy because that could have potentially have been the best fighter that Terrence Crawford had on his resume. And we probably could have seen Terrence Crawford tested in that fight, but he's not even himself. Come on, man. If you take a fighter's legs away, bro, they can't do shit. You might as well tie one hand behind his back. You take his legs away, he can't do nothing. Come on now. But I agree with y'all, man. I think Benavidez on paper was probably the best. Yeah, Big Tex, yeah, he can only fight on the inside. Like, come on, bro. You cut the nigga options down and shit. Like, come on, bro. That ain't no fight. That ain't no fight. The Don said we just gonna have to put Horn in there because he beat Manny. Jose had one leg. Khan was through thanks to thanks to Canelo and Danny. Me and Machine ain't have the top conditioning to beat Crawford. You summed that up greatly, bro. You know what I'm saying? You summed that up really well. With Jeff Horn, man, I'm conflicted with Jeff Horn simply because he did beat Manny Pacquiao on paper. He beat Manny Pacquiao. And I think even though I felt like Manny Pacquiao won that fight, I felt like the fact that Manny Pacquiao allowed that fight to be as close as it was, he deserved to take a L. Because ain't no way that fight should have been that close. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Manny Pacquiao underestimated him or if he was too lax. You know what I'm saying? But I put that on Manny Pacquiao because that fight should never even have been close enough for a motherfucker to even think that they can give a fight to Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, when Terrence Crawford fought Jeff Horn, it's like you beating a guy that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, who the hell knew who Jeff Horn was before the Manny Pacquiao fight? Like, nobody, when Jeff Horn fought Manny Pacquiao, that was supposed to be just like just a regular title defense for Manny Pacquiao. That wasn't even supposed to be nothing serious. You know what I'm saying? That was supposed to be just, okay, look, title defense for Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? We just gonna go ahead and get in here, get our little shit off, and get on up out. That was supposed to be a regular fight. That wasn't even supposed to be nothing crazy. But they ended up robbing Manny Pacquiao. And that's Manny Pacquiao's fault. Because that shit shouldn't even been that close. That shit shouldn't even been that close. That boy, Jamie Peralta, he said it wasn't close. Horn had a double head, and was pressed on Manny the whole fight. It shouldn't have been close enough for them to even think that they could possibly get that shit to Jeff Horn. Strong will in the building. So Louis said, "Nah, Thurman don't want to be the best. He just want to be relevant again." I agree with that. Said I thought the Horn fight was supposed to set Pacquiao out for Crawford. Yeah, that's what I thought, bro. That's what I thought. Let me go back, man. Did I miss a super chat in here? He said, "What's your point?" Shout out to the brother. What's your point? Facts in the super chat. He say, "I watch all Bud fights. I'm not hating, but he's never been in a dog fight, let alone a skilled dog fight." That's facts. That's facts. I never seen it. And that's why I'm reluctant to put him on the same level as Errol Spence. I'm not saying that he's not as good, and I don't think he is as good as Errol Spence, but I mean, he's definitely talent-wise, on paper, just pure skill-wise, I think he up there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm reluctant to put him like at Errol Spence level and say, okay, he can beat Errol Spence, because I ain't seen him in there with nobody like Sean Porter, like Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I seen him in there with somebody as good as Lamont Peterson. I mean, I don't know. I don't think, if you take out size, because, hold up, this is a great point. If you take out size, skill-wise, he ain't even been in there with nobody as good as Mikey Garcia. Now, if we gonna give him credit for beating Eurycles Gamboa, let's go ahead and we can bring out the fact that he ain't fought nobody as good as Mikey Garcia. You know, shit, they the same size. Shout out to the brother, the Octavia72 in the super chat. He say, I say Spence Crawford is equivalent to Mayweather Pac-Man. It's just my belief, but I feel Team Crawford is protecting that payday. They are carefully selecting his opponents. Brook is a name like Khan. I agree. You know, and we was talking about that earlier with the similarities between the build-up for this fight and the build-up for the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. The big difference with that, as we just discussed, is the fact that Manny Pacquiao was fighting people. Manny Pacquiao had fought Ricky Hatton, he fought Cotto, he fought Oscar De La Hoya. Now, a lot of these fights was at catchweights, but he was fighting motherfuckers. He fought Antonio Margarito. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting people. He fought Juan Manuel Marquez, Tim Bradley. He fought motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? We already know what Floyd did. You dig what I'm saying? So with Terrence Crawford, it's like they really protecting him. Now, also, they could have learned from the way they moved Manny Pacquiao with him having those rematches with Juan Manuel Marquez, and he got knocked out. Maybe they felt like that dropped Manny Pacquiao. They had to rebuild Manny Pacquiao back up after he got knocked out against Marquez. So maybe they thinking like, okay, we can bypass that whole scenario if we just move Crawford along, you know what I'm saying, very meticulously, and make sure that we don't put him in no type of danger until he get in there with Errol Spence. That fight is built up to the brink, and they ready to go. Everybody gonna get paid. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? I say, folks think skills automatically equals performance. Dealing with adversity and grit and determination is more of a precursor for success. Advantage, Spence, period. Man, brother, you just said too many big facts. You just stated too many big facts. I don't think they was ready for you. I don't think they was ready for you on that one, brother. Them too many big facts. You know, you can't just look on paper and say, well, this guy gonna beat this guy. You gotta take in consideration the atmosphere. You gotta take in consideration the energy. Think about this, man. When Earl fought Sean Porter, even me, I'm thinking, okay, on paper, Errol Spence is way more skilled than Sean Porter. On paper, Errol Spence is way more talented than Sean Porter. He gonna watch Sean Porter. That's what I'm thinking. But I got beside myself. I didn't consider the fact, and I made plenty of videos about this though. I talked about the fact that Sean Porter, the relationship between Sean Porter and Kenny Porter, the fact that Kenny Porter had trained Errol Spence in the Olympics and he knew what Errol Spence could do. He'd be at home talking to Sean about how good Errol Spence is. The fact that Sean Porter want to prove something not only to himself, not only to the fans, but he want to prove to his father, Kenny Porter, that he can beat Errol Spence. It's a lot of different things that go into that on the fact that he got a title, Earl got a title, they unifying. He want to show that he really the champion. It's a lot of different things. Sean Porter got up for that fight versus Errol Spence. It's a lot of things that you got to take into consideration outside of just the skill, outside of just the technical aspect of the game. You got to take into consideration the mentality. You got to take into consideration what's at stake. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy in the room. When those guys step in the ring, it's the energy in that ring. You got to take that into consideration. Adversity, grit. When Earl had to go overseas to fight Kell Brook and he walking out the tunnel, everybody calling him names, talking cash shit. You know what I'm saying? You about to get your ass beat. You ain't fucking with Kell Brook. All this bullshit. It take a certain type of motherfucker to be able to rise above in a situation like that. So you got to take into consideration, like Earl didn't fight the Sean Porter that fought Kell Brook. He fought a Sean Porter that was on a whole nother level. On a whole nother level. That's the type of shit you got to take into consideration, bro. You know what I'm saying? And those are the things that with Terrence Crawford, we ain't seen him in those situations yet. We have never seen that. We don't know how he gonna react in that type of environment. We don't know. We don't know. We only assuming based off of his skill, based off of us seeing him train in the gym, seeing him in there with smaller and lesser opponents. We don't know really what he gonna do. We don't know. We don't know. Shout out to the brother Stone Love in the building. Salute. Salute, what's happening? Brent Jones said, I'm already going to call it Brook by upset. Brook is a bigger, more skilled mean machine. Damn. That's a bold statement, brother. That is a bold statement right there. And you know what? I'm not going to even argue with you on that. Because I think Brook got every chance to beat Terrence Crawford. I think that's, you know, if you would have put it in, if it was the Kell Brook before he grew out of, or before he started eating his way, drinking his way up out of 147, you know what I'm saying? Before he start, you know, hanging out and, you know, calling himself done with boxing and all that shit, I would have said this was either 50-50 or maybe 55-45 Kell Brook way. But I'm going to give Terrence Crawford the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him the fact that he's a more fresher fighter, the fact that he's been making 147. We ain't seen Kell Brook make 147 in a couple of years. I'm going to say it's 55-45 for Terrence Crawford. But I repeat, I will not be surprised if Kell Brook go out there and beat up on Terrence Crawford. Yes, Galvatron, I did see Kell Brook's last fight. He looked phenomenal. Versus Mark DeLuca, he looked phenomenal. Knocked the brother out with a jab. He looked absolutely phenomenal. But the thing is with that is that even though I was excited and I was pleased to see Kell Brook come back sharp and focused, that was at 154 pounds. I need to see that brother make 147 comfortably and look good. That's my only thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he gonna look. You know what I mean? I don't know. Now, if we just talking about on paper, Kell Brook would be easily the biggest test that Terrence Crawford ever faced. Easily. He'll be the biggest test, the best fighter on Terrence Crawford resume. Easy. Easy. By far. It's not even no competition. We know why Amir Khan didn't want to fight Kell Brook, because he know he was gonna get his ass knocked out. And he couldn't take the embarrassment of losing in his own country by a fellow countryman, somebody that you was supposed to be better than. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing that Amir Khan got with Kell Brook is one of those situations where Amir Khan got on before Kell Brook. He got known before. He was a nigga. It's like, you know what I'm saying, a rapper, you know, you coming out the city, you know what I'm saying? It is one of those hating type of situations. You coming out the city, you know what I mean? You blow first. Now you big, you popping and shit. Now you got this other motherfucker that's coming up. Shit, his name growing, he popping, but you don't want to give him his shine though. That's what it is with Amir Khan and Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? Amir Khan know Kell Brook is better than him. He never wanted to get in the ring. He been lying this whole time. You know, they had a sit down with, I remember, I think it was maybe on Sky Sports or something, but they had a sit down with Amir Khan and Kell Brook, and Amir Khan just up there lying his ass off, talking about, yeah, we gonna have the fight, the fight gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I wanna fight him, but he ain't, Kell Brook ain't did enough. He ain't beat nobody and all this shit. I'm like, man, if you don't sit your ass down, Kell Brook will beat the hell out of you, Amir Khan. He'll beat the brakes off your ass. Just up there, big cap. You know what I'm saying? Big cap. Just talking cash shit, just like he brolic, like he built like that, bro. You ain't even cut like that, Amir Khan. You done got knocked out 17 times. It's on record. Check box rec. Amir Khan done got knocked out 17 times. Y'all know I ain't lying. Come on, man. Kell Brook way better than Amir Khan. Way better than Amir Khan. That's why he don't want to fight him, because he know he gonna be embarrassed. Come on, man. But let's go ahead. I want to talk about some before we get up out of here. I want to talk about Mayweather being a trainer. How y'all feel about Floyd Mayweather becoming a trainer? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think about that shit, man? Shout out to the brother King Redeem in the building. Salute to you, brother. What's happening? How y'all feel about Floyd Mayweather being a trainer, man? Jay Cooley said, I think he'll be a good trainer. That boy 5623 say he should he run in the family. Okay. Okay. Yup, follow Uncle Roger footsteps. Big facts. Yeah, man, I agree. I agree. Shout out to the boy G Mays. I ain't even see you come through, man. Salute to you, my brother. Said only with the right fighter. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think Floyd got to start out with one fighter, and it got to be somebody that I would say like somebody. It don't have to be Devin Haney, but somebody like Devin Haney, somebody that got the skills similar to Floyd, to where he can implement, that mentality and be able to use those skills to get the best. Now, we can't have, one thing that we can't do is have the Shakur Stevenson, Chris Colbert. That's yes. Those are fucking great candidates. Yes. Young and talented. Yes. Those would be the type of guys that I would look for Floyd to train. Somebody that has the raw skill and ability. Only thing that they need is the coaching and the tutelage of somebody like Floyd. I feel like Floyd might have the greatest boxing mind of all time. Now, I know that may be a stretch. A lot of people think about Emmanuel Stewart. You think about Customato. You think about a lot of guys that got a lot of boxing knowledge. Floyd Mayweather Sr., Roger Mayweather. But I'm talking about from Floyd is the only fighter that I ever seen that don't need a trainer. Now, of course, at it was a certain point in his career where he got to that point. You dig what I'm saying? At least living. Yes, facts. Right now, living. But I do think of all time he up there. Now, it was a certain point to where he needed his Roger Mayweather, he needed Floyd Mayweather Sr. to be in his corner to make sure he was sharp and on his shit. But there was a turning point in Floyd Mayweather's career. I don't know what fight it was, but there was a point in Floyd Mayweather's career to where I said, you know what? This brother don't need nobody in that corner. It's nice to have somebody in that corner. It's nice to have somebody like that give you a second set of eyes that can tell you, okay, look, throw the jab, feint. You dig what I'm saying? Go to the body. He's leaning more to his left side. You know what I'm saying? Circle right in this round. It's good to have somebody in your corner that see things that you may not necessarily be paying attention to. That's awesome. But it was a certain point in Floyd Mayweather's career to where I noticed, I said to myself, I look back, I said, he can go out there without a trainer and he'll be all right. He'll be good. Because he already know what to do. He know every inch of that ring. He know the dimensions of the ring. He know when a fighter is tired. He know when to attack. He know when to play defense. He know when to throw the jab. He know everything about boxing. The brother was raised in boxing. He had gloves on at age 3 years old. I don't think it's nothing about the sport of boxing that Floyd Mayweather don't know. Go back to the Manny Pacquiao fight. Though Floyd Mayweather Sr. did an excellent job coaching Floyd through that fight, it was a point in time in that fight where Floyd Mayweather Sr. was like, all right, you can jump on him. You can go in there and get him up out of there. It's a good time for you to jump on him, step on the gas, and start walking him down. It was a time that Floyd Mayweather Sr. told Floyd Jr. to walk Pacquiao down, but Mayweather Jr., he said, look, I understand what you're saying, Pops, and you might be right, but I got something going on right now. I see something right. I'm going to stay with my stick. I'm going to keep the jab on him, and I'm going to work him. I'm going to keep boxing. It's like he sees shit differently than other fighters, bro. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is different. His boxing mind is just one of the best I've ever seen. So with that being said, I feel like he can relate to the fighter just like, any other trainer that has fought before. He understands what it's like making weight. He understands what it's like having to train in training camp, go to the gym 5-6 times a week. He understands what that's like, so he can identify with the struggles and the difficulties of having to have that discipline and be consistent as a fighter. He understands that. He also understands the mental aspect, when it comes to being in the ring, watching what your opponent is doing, understanding what to look for and how to capitalize and take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses. One of the most amazing things that I ever seen was when Andre Berto did an interview with Fight Hype, and he talked about what it's like being in the ring with Floyd. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all seen this. And how he was describing Floyd in the ring, how he pay attention to your breathing, how he always looking at you. He always aware and observant of everything that's going on. These type of things, bro, you're not going to get this in an average trainer. You're not going to get this in an average trainer. I feel like Floyd could possibly be, number one, if he got the right fighter. He got to have a young, a hungry, and very, very talented fighter with the raw skills. He got to have that. On top of that, it got to be the right guy that, that really fit the criteria of, like I said, having those abilities. On top of that, Floyd got to be 100% focused and dedicated to being a trainer. He can't be on all that extra shit, trying to be this and be that. He got to be focused on training. If Floyd can get to that level mentally as a trainer, bro, I think Floyd will be one of the best trainers we ever seen, dog. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be one of the best trainers we ever seen. When it come to working the mitts and shit like that, he gonna be cold with the mitt work. He gonna be cold with the mitt work. He gonna have your defense on point. He gonna have your punch placement and accuracy on point. Dog, I feel like Floyd really could be one of the best trainers we ever seen. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Say Vigilante Kato say, I want to see Floyd and Shakur. Man, that shit'll be cold, dog. They already got they got Coach K over there, but I mean, it would be nice to see, if Floyd could go in there and, help out just to kind of work his way in there, because I don't know if he gonna just right out the gate start off with like a top fighter or like a cold ass fighter that's young and then build him up. I think he probably gonna step into a few different camps and help out and, kind of be like a co-trainer in some of the corners just to kind of work his way in there. And then he gonna find that fighter, that guy that's just perfectly fit for him, and then be able to build off of that. So I would like to see Floyd go in there with maybe like you said, with Shakur Stevenson, go help out with Coach K. You know what I'm saying, and see what the hell going on. I would like to see him in there with Tank. Even though Coach Calvin, that's a great trainer as well. I think he could definitely help out. Say Floyd is a mad scientist. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. He said, I agree with what you saying, but what about his ego? How many times he fell out with Senior and Roger? Yeah, man, but you know what? I think that's one thing. That's what I was saying about Floyd having to be 100% focused on being a trainer. He got to let that ego go in order to be able to do that. But I think with Floyd growing as a human being, with going through all these things that he's been dealing with, I think this stuff is helping him grow as an individual, as a man, as a human being. So, with growth, it comes humbleness and, understanding and, what I'm saying, being able to put that little bullshit to the side. So, I definitely think that that's something that he could get better at. Let me see what's going on. I said Floyd needs a person that's just started because the stars leaving their trainers. Yeah. I would like to see Floyd get somebody that, that's like fucking 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, like somebody that he can work with and build them on up, like instill those qualities and skills in them from yay high, and then on top of that, I feel like it's some guys right now that Floyd can work with and make them better. I feel like it's a lot of guys right now that Floyd can go in there and work with and get their shit right. You dig what I'm saying? It's a lot of guys. Yeah, man. Devin Haney, I would love to see Devin Haney and Floyd work together on a long-term basis. I don't, to be honest with y'all, I don't even know who Devin Haney's trainer is. I know Bill Haney has a lot to play. He does a lot as far as the training, but Devin Haney has been getting a lot of game from a lot of different trainers and fighters, like Floyd Mayweather Sr. He even worked with Roger Mayweather. He worked with Roy Jones Jr. He worked with fucking Bill Haney. You know what I'm saying? His father. So I don't even know who Devin Haney's trainer is, but I would love to see Floyd Mayweather work with Devin Haney. Being said, what about Jaleel Hackett? I don't know a lot about Jaleel Hackett. I'm gonna have to go look him up and see what's going on. I'm gonna have to see what's going on, man. I'm gonna check him out and I'm gonna check his box rec and go look at some highlights and see what's happening. I like that kid that's working with Coach K and Shakur Stevenson, them Keyshawn Davis. I like that guy. Said G May said Floyd and EJ. Man, if he can go in and work with Derrick James and and maybe just try it out for a fight just to see, man, that shit'll be lovely. I definitely think that him and EJ will be able to, put that shit into effect in the ring right away. Like it's some guys that Floyd can work with that's active right now, and he can he can advance them and enhance their skills and take them to a whole nother level. Say he say, why you looking like Earl with that hat on, man? You crazy. Let me see what's going on, man. But yeah, man, I think Florida definitely be a great trainer, man. It's just gonna come to the point of him having to get that fighter that's right for him, and then being 100% focused and dedicated to the game. You know what I'm saying? Said EJ, Shakur, and Haney, those three, I believe. Yeah. If I had to pick, it would be those. Probably be the three fighters that I think would really put him on another level. I think Floyd could go in and help Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I think he can help Terrence Crawford, kind of control his dog a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Kind of control that heart and that grit a little bit. You know what I mean? And maybe he'll be the master boxer that everybody think he is. But man, we've been in this hole for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here. You dig what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love. You know what I mean? Great. He said he can't help Crawford with that chin. Hey, and Virgil Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz will be a good one for Floyd to work with. J-Rock, yeah, J-Rock too. Y'all got some good candidates. I would like to see Floyd work with Derrick James and Jamel Charlo. Shit, that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one, man. But I'm about to get up out of here, man. Thank y'all for showing up and showing out, man. I appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? Another great episode of Merlot Fridays. We're going to be back next Friday. And this week we're going to be dropping shit, man. Y'all stay corona-free. Stay healthy out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all exercises. Drink y'all water. Stay hydrated, man. Take your vitamins. I appreciate y'all boys. Contender regime. Boxing. I holler at y'all boys, man. Y'all hold it down.